Okay, we're just going to dive right in.
Okay.
Welcome back to Indie Spunk Unfiltered. I have two incredible guests with me today that I am so excited to introduce to you. So we have Reagan Yorke and Jillian
Smith.
As I'm saying your name, I'm like, don't know it.
Pretty common.
Just
pretty common.
I really fucked up the intro.
No. It's all about the movie magic. You know?
Exactly.
Movie magic,
Exactly.
yeah,
We'll just like twirl that out.
Fix it in post. But the thing is, like, I'm not going to fix it in post because
No.
it's like, there's the authenticity.
This is the
guys.
authentic. This is how it
real.
goes. Yeah.
So good
Jillian
because I
Smith.
actually know your work and I've been following you guys for a hot second. I'm so excited to have you guys on the podcast because, wow, okay, if you don't already know about Jillian and Reagan and the community that they've built and the films that they're making, you are just going to be in for such a treat and such a surprise because, wow, you guys are really taking, I think, like, you're at the forefront of technology, you're at the forefront of indie filmmaking, you're at the forefront of leveraging what it is to create a sustainable career in the industry, which is something that I am so obsessed with. If you at all like have listened to any of my podcast episodes, that is really such a topic of conversation because how do we stick around in this industry? How do we make our impression and make it so that no one can ignore us, that we can have staying power and that we get to work with the kinds of people that we love to work with. And I feel like that's something that both of you are really passionate about, is working with great people and including your wider community in those conversations. So I would just love to hear a little bit about, obviously you have such a beautiful partnership. How did this partnership come to be? Tell us everything. How did you become close and work together and build this business together? Tell me everything.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start.
I know.
We are basically one person at this point.
We are
I
one
totally
brain.
get it.
Yeah, it's a merge of brains, but the start of it really goes back to us on the side of the road, like meeting each other through a mutual friend and like filming cinematic clips on our camera. And it was literally just us like running around Malibu until the camera died, and we were both like, we have a passion for filming, but we didn't know what it meant. We didn't even know if we could be directors, like what that meant. So yeah, it started there, and then it went to the film festival.
Yeah, it was a 48-hour film contest
Great.
that we started with. So I think that was a very good way to kind of just push us into it, essentially, because again, like Reagan said, we didn't know anything going into it. So it was just in that contest, it was just us, our DP, and our two main actresses, and we just full sent it basically, and we ended up winning like a few awards
First
from
film
it.
together.
Yeah,
It was a time because it was the first time we were like, oh, are we directors? Like we were putting our names down on the sheet, and we were like, oh my god, like,
Making
that
the
what
call
that means? Like we had no idea. Our call sheet was so bad. Like we didn't even location scout. We like went and location scouted like the night before at 1 a.m. because we were like, oh, that's a thing. Like we didn't know anything.
No.
But yeah, I feel like 48-hour film festivals, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
It's like for the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, you got to just get, I think that's the way to dive into the deep end. And also it sounds like the partnership for both of you was like there from the get-go, was like evident from the beginning that you worked well together.
It really was. It is crazy. Like our first time hanging out was when we were shooting at that camera till it was like in Malibu till like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And thinking back to it, it's funny. It was just every shot we were talking about. It was like, it was very aligned.
It was weird.
It was.
I think it's very rare to like have the image in your head and then someone else sees the exact same image. And we've had so many of these moments where like we're on set and I'm like, wait, this is what I pictured. And she was like, I saw like the same placement of things. And it's like, it's really weird.
It is
amazing.
So many weird coincidences like that. Like to this day, I mean, we have things like that happen like yesterday. Like us.
Totally.
It's still
Where
happening
you
like
feel
that.
I was just, my producer and I were recording another podcast episode before this, and we were having that conversation where these moments of our life where we're like, did we brain meld? Did we brain meld just now? Where we both are thinking the exact same thing at the same time. It's amazing to have that relationship, but it's also actually quite uncommon to have a directing duo like you guys, like start from the get-go knowing we are going to direct together. How is that like, that was just a certainty that you both had, that you knew you wanted to have this directing duo, you know, be at the center of your career?
Yeah, I think ever since that film festival, we were both like, this would be our dream lives that we could build, and we knew that from like a young age. But I think both of us just didn't think it was possible or like knew how to get there. So this was like one of those coincidences that we were like, oh my god, this is changing our life path. Like when we had that moment. But yeah, I feel like we've always had. It's weird because I have a background in like the filmmaking like school space of like broadcast production, and then Jillian had acting experience. So it was like a weird meld of like we kind of had both sides of the industry,
Yeah.
but not together. Like together, it made the directing duo.
Exactly. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love it because you've leveraged that into also a beautiful community. How did, like, can you just tell me everything? How did that happen?
Yeah, I know it is crazy thinking back to the start of it. Well, I think with the 48-hour film festival, we recorded like behind the scenes footage of that, but without the intent of posting that at first. Okay. We were just like recording it because it was just on set and we were having fun with it. And then we ended up how did it even start?
It was like a joke because we were like, this was going to be a documentary about us. Like a
I totally get it.
Literally a joke, and we would be like, oh, let's film horizontal.
People are going to want to see this, you know?
More for like our families.
And like shock her, of course they do. Of course they're like obsessed with it.
It was like such a joke though, because we'd be like documentary, and like what was it? Like we didn't know where it would go or like what we'd do with it, but we were like, we had never seen BTS like that.
Yes.
And so we were both kind of like, oh my God, like why is this not talked about or shown more?
Yeah.
And then I think we just kind of started posting little snippets of it. And then right when we got like our first one, they got like 1,000 views. We were like, oh my God, the niche is not small as we thought it was. Like there were so many comments of people being like, I want to do this, or like I didn't know this was possible. Like it was really inspiring to us to keep going.
And people really interested in seeing the behind the scenes process too.
That is what I find too. I think that leveraging behind the scenes is the gateway into a following, but like a community and a fan base that really lives with you, like stays with you. Did you both already have like significant followings before that?
So we both had our own personal social medias. So personally, I do like makeup.
Oh my God, your makeup videos are so cool.
Oh my gosh.
The transition videos, I'm literally like,
gosh.
Wait, how are you doing that?
She's very casual about it too. And I'm like, Jillian, you're like a
this
magician.
is so sick.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so cool. You must like, the minutia of the transition is genius. Like I can't.
You should see me in the editing
I
room.
bet. I can imagine.
It is frame by frame.
I bet. I was thinking it because I edit and I'm like, I can totally imagine
get it.
I'd be
You
like,
get it.
gotta get the perfect frame.
It's an art. Like it's actually a whole thing. And like she's so casual about it. Like on set, she was like touching up someone's makeup and she was like, I don't really know how to do makeup. And I'm like, Jillian.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
like, come on. She's like painting like these crazy. I'm like, dude.
I love it. That one
wild.
with the eye where you like open your eye and then suddenly it's just insane.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Oh my gosh. But wait, you guys are so nice. Oh my gosh. Little high five.
So you had built a following through makeup transition
like
videos.
mainly makeup transitions.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's such a cool niche.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Really
Yeah,
smart.
it's really fun. I still do it to this day. I really enjoy it. But yeah, so I built that personally on my own page. And then for Reagan.
We both kind of like we were definitely creators beforehand, and I think that's what made us doing the BTS like so natural. Because we already were like, okay, we're gonna capture every moment, just put our phones into like every crevice of the wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of did like interviews and more like press for like movie stuff. Like I knew I wanted to get into the movie space, but it was kind of like that in between of like I didn't really have access to anything. It was kind of like any interview or red carpet, I was very much like faking it till I made it. Like I was just like going and attending things, but I was like not in the pocket that I really liked.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of like us both in separate worlds of that, and like even like Jillian's transitions and like moving that into the films that like it inspires like shots for us, and it's like. Yeah, it
so
did merge
good.
both of our creative sides.
Yeah, it sounds like it really goes together so perfectly. There's a yin and yang to it.
Yeah.
So because you have interviewed some incredible people, inclling Tarantino, who's just what an amazing director, like one of my faves.
Crazy guy, yeah.
I can totally imagine. How did that happen before? Like, how did you get into that situation?
We like got the call to do that. I honestly thought I was getting pranked. I was like, I'm not showing up and doing this. Like, it was very random. But I think a lot of the things have just aligned in timing. Like, that was very recent. And I think it was more because he was building a Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
So he was doing like he has a podcast, which is so weird to me. I'm like,
this 2025 is a strange where
like when
would
would that be like in the cards that Tarantino's doing a podcast?
Doing a
like,
podcast.
I'm like, okay, what? Okay, I'm here for it though. But yeah, so he wanted help promoting that, and it kind of was interesting because he has a partner, Roger Avery, who they work together, like writing and directing. And so it kind of like worked that we were also a duo. So like the perspective of that and like him trying to get into social media I think that's where they like linked us together to do that. But yeah, it was really cool, and he's such a great director, like insane person to talk to, but just weird in my mind to like merge to that extreme.
Totally. How do you prepare for an interview like that?
That is such a good question. I actually like,
I'm like,
because I've seen Reagan like prepare before, but that like getting into that mindset is actually just, I don't even know how you do that. It's just
one of those things that you kind of like disassociate. And you wake up and you're like, what am I doing today?
Did I even say words? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But it was honestly like in the moment when you like lock eyes with someone, it's like, okay, we're just humans. It's fine. Like it's not as overwhelming as like it seems if you think a little harder about it.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I kind of just like had some baseline questions. They were very broad. And I think that's kind of the way to go with those, like, because you don't know, you kind of let them steer.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. Was it short? Was it like 10 minutes or?
Yeah, it was probably like 6 minutes. It was very quick. And I didn't want to rush it, but I was just like, okay, next question. Like it was very, quick to the point. But yeah, it was really fun. He was cool.
Who's like your favorite person you've interviewed?
Probably Lady Gaga.
Stop.
She is like the most real, and she like gave me a hug before I walked in. I was
she
like,
seems
okay.
like she would be that way.
Yeah, like the most normal person in like the best way. Like she was just so nice and sweet. But yeah, it kind of is weird though, because it's like that was for Joker as well.
Yeah.
So it's like the merge of film is always in the middle of all of these things. It's really weird.
Are you ever wanting to utilize those opportunities to talk about yourself as a director, or can you do that? How does that kind of work? Let me tell you.
It's funny because anytime like Reagan like gets an opportunity, we're always like, oh,
by the way,
could like merge something in about S&Q.
Yes.
Like it could be interesting.
No, it is funny though, because I think a lot of the recent ones where I talk to directors, it kind of does help get into like their brains more, because I'm actually like way more interested in the directors than the actors, which I think is rare for like press junkets.
100%.
But yeah, I just want to pick their brains. So I'm like, I ask very like weird niche questions sometimes, but I feel like they appreciate it because they're like, why are you wondering about the color palette?
Yes,
and I'm like,
absolutely.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, because we watch the films and I'm like curious about those things as well. I'm a director as well. So it's like the same thing where I'm like, oh, if I could just sit with you. And these conversations that I'm not hearing a lot of interviewers ask or attention be brought to those things, maybe in like niche areas, but for you guys to bring it to a community online as well and expose a lot of emerging filmmakers, it seems. Is that, would you say your community is filled with mostly emerging filmmakers?
Definitely. Yeah, it's honestly a lot of, and just creatives in general. We have a lot of actors too, a lot of actors who don't have a lot of experience, and that's also a big thing for us is casting, first-time actors and giving them the opportunity, because we're just trying to essentially ungatekeep the industry. I think that goes in hand with, showing the behind the scenes. And because, when we were first getting into it, it was very, we didn't know what we were doing, and we didn't know what to do. So we're just trying to show the whole process with it. And I think that, that kind of goes in hand.
It's so aligned with what I do in my company as well, Indie Spunk, because it's all about demystifying the process, opening the curtain essentially to here's what it takes to pursue a career and the steps that we're taking and the conversations that are happening. And I love that you're bringing your, this very visual behind the scenes experience onto social media, because it's also positioning you guys and as directors, as people that are working in the industry. It's so smart, and obviously people love it.
No, it is very surreal to us, because when we first posted, I think when we got 1,000 views, we were freaking out, because it means so much more to get a little bit of views on something you're really passionate about than to get a viral video.
Sure.
And so to us it was this spark of we were this feels meaningful. We don't know why, but that kind of started, and then the community was there, and we see people posting BTS more now.
Yes.
And so it's kind of a little wave of that is happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so much fun for us, and our end goals are really to make feature films and get more into just narrowing down that directing style and figuring it out. But this has been the best baseline to all of that. It's just been so aligned.
I want to talk about your directing style in a second, and I want to round this out with, how did it go from, we've posted some videos, this community is growing, people are interested in this, to building sort of a business offering? How did that transition? And tell me about that.
Yeah, I think I think it happened as we learned more about the film process, because at first going into it, we were like, oh, we just need a DP, and like we didn't know what a gaffer was, and we were like, and then it turned in from like 1 roll to like 40 rolls needed, and we were like, oh my god, we're gonna just like go in debt, and like this is gonna be crazy.
Yes.
And I think everyone has that realization, and then that's when most people stop. And so we were like, okay, this has to be like a community of like we can all support each other and like make things happen without these like massive studio budgets, which are usually needed. So it kind of went into that wave of like finding volunteers for things and just kind of making it more of a community where we're giving them opportunities, the same ones that we wanted so badly. And then it goes back into just like everyone literally having passion for film. And like, so it kind of has a full loop of like volunteers and then like opportunities. And we just want to share more opportunities with a ton of people and just keep the loop going and avoid debt.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, that is so great. And if you're not already following, and also you've got a Patreon as well, right? Like if you're not, right? What's your Patreon?
Yeah, it's just S&Q Films,
Okay,
which is our like our company, our
your
production company.
Yes,
Yeah,
fantastic. Okay, so if you're not already a part of S&Q Films, you've got to go and check this out.
It's so much fun. We even have like opportunities on there that we'll post from like other indie productions.
Yes.
So it is kind of like that circuit, like home base of
It
like
seems
us
like it,
just
and it's all like
circulating
feeding
it.
into each other, and everyone gets to work together. That's what I really find with my community as well, that people start to work together and make films together, and it's like the most exciting thing to see. Oh my god, that whole production was made of like indie spunks. It's like it's incredible.
So weird.
It's
It's
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah.
We've like gotten DMs before from people where they've said, "Oh, I've like just created this short film and I worked with like a bunch of people from S&Q, like from the S&Q community."
Amazing.
And we're like, we
What?
get FOMO. We're like, what?
What about us, guys? You didn't
We're
call
like,
me?
wait.
it's so cool though. It's like, wow, it's actually
is.
real.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so weird to think about. We're
It
like
is.
connecting the dots of random communities like building.
Super surreal.
Yeah.
It's super surreal what the internet can do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like a world of its own. I don't even know.
No,
Totally.
it's literally, we could talk about it forever.
Oh,
So
yeah.
great. It's
No, I
literally
love
like,
it.
how are people real and like, I don't know. It's weird.
So
Because
real.
it's like, what? Like views and numbers are not real in our
No.
head. I'm like, it's not. It's a game.
Yeah. No, we honestly like go through our DMs so often too, and it is like it's insane, like people's messages, and we like sob like
we
over
do,
them.
we
Like
do.
people are just so kind and just seeing like what they're doing too, and like how they're inspired, and it's just so, and it motivates us too to like to keep going and keep pushing, and it's and I feel like we can just feel good energy in the film industry changing, and it feels really good.
So with you.
Yeah, even like the DMs that we receive, it's funny because like we used to send those.
Oh, yeah.
And like we see like such a full circle, and we're like, we literally like we went back on our first DMs to like filmmakers of us trying to like be on set or like be a PA or like get casted, and it's just like it's so full circle. It's really weird.
Yeah,
it's so
or like
weird.
we've been there.
Yeah.
we've literally
we were that person.
we
on the other
we
side,
were
yeah.
you. Yeah.
How cool is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Only up and up from here. The power of community is unbelievable.
Totally.
So cool. Okay, so you've obviously got this thriving community, and then you've got S&Q, which is your production company. I want to hear about how you have formed a shared vision, your directing style together, and what that is to navigate together. I'm so curious.
That's such a fun
That's a
question.
good question. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of late night Zoom calls. Like it is literally, those are the things that like sometimes we forget to post about because it's like,
That's where the work
stuff-
gets
yeah,
done.
it's literally the 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Onwards. It doesn't even stop. It doesn't anymore. It's those Zoom calls that we like are in our delusional states that I think our films are made. Like it actually does come down to those moments.
Because sometimes we look back and we're like, oh, like how did all of this happen and all these things, and then we look back and we did spend like, I mean, I think it was like 12, 14-hour Zoom calls sometimes, like we, and in person too, and like Reagan has like an extra room that we've kind of turned into the S&Q studio.
It's like a cave. Headquarters.
It is our cave.
Cave headquarters.
But yeah, it's it's honestly been crazy.
Yeah, it does come down to like those first early days of us having these wild ideas, but being like, there's no way that's gonna happen. And as we slowly build like our knowledge of like everything that goes into making the shot, it's like some things are starting to be doable that in our minds that we're like, whoa.
I've done it too many times. You're good.
Oh no, it's okay.
I like to wildly gesticulate with my hands.
The
and I'm always,
microphone.
like,
like
on
literally
the
sounding like crazy. Oh my god, I just did it again.
Sound effect.
Okay,
It's great.
sound effects.
It's working.
We
We're
had
doing
some
a good
sound
job.
design on this too, guys.
Well,
So we've got Jillian's like.
I know, I'm gonna start doing
we've got her
ASMR.
It's like a whole sound.
We'll do like an ad break. We'll just take a short ad here to talk about ASMR and Jillian's.
just like
And my
changes
long
filters.
nails.
Honestly, at this point, I'm here for it.
We are taking a quick little break so I can share with you that we have something for you. This week, if you are lucky enough to be listening to this on the week that this episode is airing, this week we have a free masterclass that's all about feature film funding. We're going to tell you, myself, my producing partner, and I, we are going to tell you 3 hard lessons that we've learned in our feature film funding process this year and help you understand how to position yourself for investors to come on board, to say yes, to inspire confidence in your team, to understand how to talk to investors and get money in for your film, for your project, so we can get more indie films made. We are on a mission to champion independent voices and get more interesting stories out in the world. We need it more than ever. So come along. The link is in the show notes to join us at this free class. So excited to have you. Cannot wait. All right, let's get back to this episode with S&Q Films, because aren't Jillian and Reagan the best? I'm so thrilled that we have them. Let's rejoin that conversation. Okay, I can't wait to see you on Thursday. Lots of love.
It's interesting because we don't really know the like traditional way that people make movies or scripts, so we kind of have done our own version of it in the sense of like we'll come up with a shot we like and make an entire film off of just one shot. It's like really random.
I love unorthodox writing processes like that.
Yes.
I think that it's more regular to write in an unorthodox way, whereas we're taught sit down with your laptop and write a script. But I think most interesting ideas are happening in a very non-linear way.
Yeah, and I think we're very, very visual people.
Yes.
So what was a little bit daunting for us at first was like the writing process. So what we started with was the visual aspect. So I know for our very first one, the 48-hour film contest, we basically built it around the idea of a transition, and it was basically this like our actress going from the car and she would fall back and then land in the water. And we also did not think of the logistics of that.
Oh my gosh.
We never do. It's
never
kind of
do.
an ongoing thing of like help.
So we had to
The elaborate choice for a 48-hour film. It's amazing.
Not as well. I'm like, and then Jillian always finds like the most niche ways to get things. Like she found the tank, and it was like this random tank in downtown LA. And she was like, I promise this is gonna work. And we went there, and there was like cracks in the tank, and we were like, is this? It worked. It did work. But yeah, it's always just like it somehow comes together. But
does.
it's always from something really random, either like a quote or like that transition shot. Even this last one, we were just like, we want to show our style and like different elements of like images we wanted to create, and we didn't have a storyline really until like halfway through pre-production.
Yeah. And it was interesting. We were kind of like stuck. We were coming from our second short film and then moving into our most recent one, which would be our third short film. We were trying to find a writer too for the longest time because we almost didn't like believe in ourselves enough to write the project. And I think we were trying to go about it in the wrong way, and we forgot that we can go about it in an unorthodox way. So then we started with, do you remember how we like
it kind
initially
of is
started?
a constant battle for us of like, oh, we want to do it like the studios are doing it, and then it's like, oh wait, we can like find ways around it that don't look as pretty and like easy, but like we did get stuck for a while, and we were like, we were like, the weakness of our last film was the writing, so we should get a writer instead of being like, we should figure out how to write better. It was like that seemed like the right way to, but obviously now like we had a realization, and I think I don't remember exactly when it happened. It was probably 4 a.m.
Yeah, no, it was. It definitely was. I think the realization was to write about something that we know. To like do it about that, and then that's when the concept came for then this most recent short film, and that's when things started flowing and the visual ideas started coming, and we wrote the whole script, and we went through different drafts, and I think we struggled with like dialogue at first, but we went through different drafts and read it out loud to each other and figured out what sounded most natural. And so I think it's all a learning process.
The film that you've just made is when you are in festivals, you're actually showing a version of your work that you've now evolved out of. Yeah. It's actually really painful. I think sometimes quite a painful experience to watch your work in a film festival because you're like, this
so real.
Right? Like,
that is so real.
What I would do now. And obviously because I made this film, I'm now a better filmmaker. And I think that that perfectionism can stop you from showing your work a lot of the time. But it's actually a beautiful way to honor your process, is to say like, oh, look, this 48-hour film that you guys made led you into this next, writing this film, like this next film. This is the one that you're currently in post-production on right now. Is that right?
Yeah. That is a really good note though, because it did feel like we were even sharing content of the BTS from like our past selves, and we were like, no, I remember us being like, no matter what, we just want to get on set to get like upgraded BTS.
Yes.
Like we were like, we don't look like that anymore. And it was like frustrating because we were like, we need so many steps before that, but we were like, let's just throw ourselves on set and like figure it out.
Get it there.
But that kind of is how it felt. It was very much like our past selves, and we were like, it did flow into this new thing, and we're excited now in post-production. It's still feeling like we're proud of, and we're like holding on to that because it's exciting, but we know in like a year from now we're gonna be like, what did we do? But it's always like that.
It is, and I think it's also appreciating trying to step back into that mindset that you were in
100%,
and that it's all like a learning process.
It like feeds itself. I know the first film I made, it took me years to share it. And then when I finally did, I was like, what was I so attached to or concerned about? Of course, it's not perfect. It's like my film school thesis film, and it's kind of like crazy. It's about a woman with a triangle for a head, and it's weird.
I need to see this immediately.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Now I can really appreciate it. Now I'm like, God, 11 years ago it was cool as fuck.
That's
but back then I, trying to circulate something that's really quirky and, being young and like insecure about things. So I do actually think that it's to our credit to be able to put our films side by side and say, look at how far you've come, look how far your skill has evolved and changed. And that's the same with your BTS. It's so cool that you'll have that whole behind the scenes like evolution, right? Like what it used to be. That'll be the documentary.
Honestly, I mean, even just looking back at like seeing us like editing or things that we said in video. Remember we were looking at old videos recently, and we were like it was like so wholesome because we were so excited. It was screaming about this shot, and now we look at the shot and we're like, what?
That shot?
It's just like so funny, but you have to like honor that initial excitement and like that rawness of like no one has told you any different. So it's like that's why new filmmakers are so important too, because it's like they're not structured and to tell a story a certain way. It's just there and it's raw. Like your story about the triangle
head.
Yeah, like someone would have been like trying to shut that idea down. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
But you just did it. And,
No,
like,
yeah.
That's why they're so fun. Like
That's
new
when,
filmmakers.
this Spielberg said something along those lines of, I don't care if you're not like, I don't care about your shots. You don't have to have the perfect camera or the perfect shots. What's the story? How are you honoring the story? And I think that's so true of all of our films that, if you can tell a great story, especially in a short film in a short space of time, it says so much about your skill and talent. What's this upcoming film about?
Ooh.
Can we talk about it?
Yes.
Oh, so
We're still figuring out what it's about, I think.
A little bit. But a main like gist of it, we definitely wanted to pull from, again, something that we know. So it's a little hard to describe, but mainly it's about being in your 20s, because we're in our 20s and we feel oftentimes just very lost and like overwhelmed with how many different, paths there are and like just how many different choices we have and all like the societal pressures of everything. So I think we tried to encapsulate that feeling in a cool and visual way, because combining that sort of feeling, but again, we're very visual, like kind of trippy people. Like we love, that's another aspect to our filmmaking. We just love kind of pushing the boundaries with that and just getting as crazy as possible. So kind of combining those two elements almost. So it should, it's going to be, we're really excited
Where are you
for
at
it.
in the process right now?
Oh gosh, we're so close.
Yeah, we're finishing up VFX and then sound mixing this next couple of weeks.
gosh.
But yeah, it is exciting. There's a lot of like themes and ideas in this one that when we initially were writing the script, we were like figuring out which path to go with.
Yeah.
And then we kind of were like, it's just gonna be a love letter to our 20s. Like it's gonna be a merge and a mushing pot of just like a ton of things that we feel. Especially I think it started because we came back from like Christmas like break. And both of our siblings were like in relationships, and we were like, and it just felt like we were like, oh my god, like everyone has their lives together, and like it just felt like we were like, what are we like? Where's the like solid like yes, like where are we on the right path? What are we doing? And it just felt like we were comparing ourselves to other people too much. And we were like, it's about figuring it out in your 20s. Like, you don't need to have a solid
100%.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of is a merge of that.
That is so beautiful. A love letter to your 20s.
Yeah.
The chaos. The
exactly.
expectations.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to see it.
Yeah.
Visually, what would you say? Because I'm just like, I'm a hungry director. Tell me more.
Yes.
What would you say? Do you have any like visual references that you really went off of or created for yourself?
Ooh.
That's a good one. I think we really went with like different color palettes, and like we filmed in a bus for this one.
Oh, cool.
So we
The whole thing is on a bus?
partly. It's
Yeah.
a bus
Okay,
and
okay.
It's actually
office.
yeah. It's a pretty actually
cool.
short scene on a bus, but we went
But
like
the bus
ham.
Is, the bus is business.
Yeah, it had to happen.
It
Like, we
had
just
to.
loved the bus.
we figured out how to get a full on like an actual metro bus. How to rent
Amazing.
an actual metro
Amazing.
bus.
I think we Googled it and this number came up, and it was like it was Napoleon, and it was just a phone number, and we were like, this is not real.
Yeah.
And he answered.
And he answered, shout out Napoleon. Yeah.
Shout out Napoleon.
He was the
Thanks,
best.
Napoleon. We couldn't have done it without you.
Actually,
Wouldn't be here.
at 12 a.m. he confirmed the bus the night before.
We
and
love,
did.
We love Napoleon.
we love Napoleon. Yeah, so visually it is kind of like some of these like more calm settings where it's like the office or the bus, but it's also just like kind of fun. Like there's conversations that are funny. There's like the rawness of the inside of her head just being overwhelmed. We have some like very like out there VFX and transitions with it's kind of like Inception vibes a little bit for a little bit of them, but
And with also just that mix of also just being real. Because like we feel like there's so many awkward moments in our 20s too. So it's just like the combination of everything.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite films?
oh my gosh. We love Whiplash.
Oh,
we
yeah.
love Challengers. I'm thinking of all the soundtracks we listen to when we like write.
That's
Challengers,
our number one.
Social Network. I'm just like going off. Do you
Yeah.
have any?
No, I mean, honestly, I feel like this is almost like basics. I feel like a lot of people say this, but Interstellar.
Oh, yeah.
Love Interstellar because we love Nolan. Love
Yeah.
Nolan.
You can't not.
Right.
Genius.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like just the mix of everything, you know, with the score and just all the different elements of everything.
Lady Bird. We like Greta Gerwig, obviously. Like
yeah.
these are just like yes, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a mix of all of these things, influences, and just kind of in a big mushing pot.
I love your mushing pot term.
I keep
Is that,
saying
like,
that. I don't know why. I've
That
never
is-
said
I mean,
that.
You've never said
Maybe
that.
we'll just call this episode like the mushing pot.
of
SMQ.
everything. It's literally our
SMQ
film
mush pot.
themes.
That is
Our
such.
brains,
I
like,
love
I
it.
don't know what's going on there.
Such a good explanation, though.
Yeah, it makes sense in my
Yeah,
mushing
I get
pot
it.
brain.
Right?
The visual is clear.
Yeah.
There it is. Next film idea.
Yeah, done. Mushing pot. It's kind of
Wait.
witchy.
Title?
No, we're coming up with the title right now.
We
and, like,
still haven't.
anything, We're like, ooh, like, and it's like the most random things. We're like, ooh, is that abstract? Like, it's just like a sentence.
Like literally means nothing. But
No, exactly. Everything we do, we like are always like, there's a deeper meaning. Someone will get it.
Exactly.
What's next? I know you've got this film coming out. Like, where do you see yourselves in the next couple of years together?
Oh, we love that question. I mean, we're honestly just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
To be
I love
honest,
it.
like
I love it.
we're so motivated. I think right after this one wraps, like we're probably, I think, a month away from being full picture wrap from everything. We're just gonna hop right into the next one and just keep going. And I think Reagan said before, our goal eventually is to do a feature film and to do feature films. And yeah, so that's really the end goal. But to also just keep growing the, S&Q community and keep showing the behind the scenes and the transparency, and also keep including, emerging filmmakers and emerging actors in the process. Like, I think our last set basically had essentially our entire set was filled with our entire community.
Amazing.
I think one day we had about 50 extras, and we all hired them, all through our community.
Incredible.
And same with all of our actors, most of our crew too. So it's just like, and also I think that attributed to the vibes on set. Like the vibes were so good because everyone was so passionate. Yeah.
And I think that's why we want to do a feature as well, because we're like, 3 days is not enough. Like we kept on like yearning to get back on the set. And it's just like, we have so many more stories we want to tell, and there's so much out there that like we can picture ourselves doing these things. It's just a matter of time and, getting through this film and then premiering it. And it's going to be exciting because our like lead actress hasn't ever been in anything. So it's going to be like such a cool moment to film her reaction, and just there's so many like good key moments coming up. And we just would love to be on like a feature film set, just doing our thing,
Just to be, no, every time set ends, we just get so sad.
No,
we're like, wait, we want to be back.
We're like mourning.
It's my favorite place to be.
It's like the moment sometimes we're on set and we're already like missing it, and I'm like, we're like, we don't want to wrap. We're like, no, we have to stay like 5 more minutes. It's actually a problem, but
no, it is.
It just means we're in the right place, and I'm sure you feel the same way being on set. It's just like 100%. The adrenaline.
It's my favorite place to be. Yeah.
It's so
time
addicting.
disappears. Same with editing, though. I feel like when I edit, I'm like, oh, I haven't. That's the only time I ever forget to eat is when I'm editing.
It's just a different mentality.
So
same,
true.
Same thing, right?
Yeah. Time just like
like, don't talk to me.
It's such a like
disturbing
weird state to be in.
It
is though. We literally just pulled like an all-nighter.
Oh my gosh, it was like, don't recommend, but we stayed up for like.
We like were the first ones at the coffee shop at 6:30, and we were like, it's the middle of our grind, and the coffee people were like, are you okay?
Like, hey, we've already had 4 cups of coffee.
I was like, we're waiting for you to open. It's like 4, and we're upstairs.
You're like, sorry, you're late.
I know, I'm like helping them open. I'm like, what's going on? It's just a weird mentality to be in, but we love it.
We love it.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's so nice to have a partnership where things work and flow. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so great. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so grateful that you have what your experience.
We're grateful for you because it's literally, we're all in the same world, and it's like we got to stick together, and we want to support everything.
Awesome. Okay, so two more things. One, what would you love S&Q Films to have as a legacy?
Whoa, that's a really
it's a big
good question.
I
love
that. And answers for these. She's always like, you're good at this, because everything she says, I'm like, yeah,
that's
what
limited.
she said. A legacy. I mean,
obviously, it's something they're going to build over time. But what comes to mind?
I feel like what I would say is when we make our films, we want to have strong enough styles for someone to be like, oh, that looks like an S&Q film. Or like to be like, oh, I want to incorporate the S&Q style into my film. Like someone to see us as a style almost.
Yeah.
That's so true. We've actually been like saying that kind of recently a little bit, because we're like, when we reference films, we're like, wait, we eventually want people to do that for us. Yeah. We're like, once that moment happens, that's just going to be so
like when we
surreal.
have our solid style, and because it's building and we see it.
You're like evolving into it right now.
Yeah,
this is going to be such a cool timestamp for you to look back on and be like, oh my god, we were just discovering it at that time.
Yeah,
that's so true.
And it's cool too, because like every film we make is almost like entity for us to like reference. Yeah. So we can see how we like hone in on our style more and more, because I think every film that we do, we are getting closer and closer to what we feel like is the S&Q style.
Yeah, and this one really does feel like us, and I feel like that was our goal going into it. We were like, we just want to make something that feels like us. Like we're not trying to be someone or do something that someone's else is doing. Like it's just very like, this is from our brains, and it's very, style is what we've always wanted, so it's like,
and we like watching it too.
Yeah, and that's a good
It makes
sign.
a big difference when you have to watch it 100 times.
Exactly.
I know, I'm like 120 in.
Yeah,
and we're
exactly. Still going strong. Still happy with it.
It is.
I love it. What I'm hearing is this like recipe of success so far for you guys has really been about honoring your evolution and having a strong partnership. And I think those two things are beautiful little pieces of nuggets that our audience can take away. I love that we touched on what it means to honor your evolution as a creative person and as someone in this industry, because I think that doesn't get spoken about enough. And I just love the embodiment that you guys have put forward in that space, in your evolution, and honoring it, showing it, sharing it. So that's just so fantastic. Would you say there's anything else that you want to include in that, like, little recipe for success? What would you love to leave people with?
Oh my gosh, also thank you. That's so sweet.
That's so nice.
So many nice words. Because it's like very much a blur for us, this whole journey. It's just been like, sometimes we need to step back and be like, wow, this is really cool. And
100%. That's what I always love these
fun.
podcasts to be, though. It's like a time step. This is where we are right now. And we have so much more we're moving towards. And there's obviously you have a whole career ahead of you guys. But in this very moment, you have gotten here. You've gotten to this place where you've built this incredible community. You've got films that are coming out. You have this partnership together, this wonderful kind of style that you're evolving into. And we have to celebrate that.
Oh my gosh, I'm like so motivated right now. Like I'm ready to go.
Can we just repeat that sentence and go edit in a little loop, like for the rest of my life? No, because it's weird. Even like
I'll just edit it just for you.
Yeah,
Reagan,
please.
welcome to the morning.
I know it's like our morning
Jillian, you're awaking to the day.
Wait,
I record hypnosis meditations and stuff for my clients. So this is literally something I do.
Wait, I think I'll
just do one for you right now. And then we'll get your nails in.
Yeah,
I know my
a little ASMR.
That is actually, I actually feel like I'm in a dream right now. I'm like, this is actually really
All
trippy.
I want for my podcast guests is just to feel living high.
Yeah, no, 100%
See you later.
floating out of this room.
I put mushrooms in your coffee.
Yeah.
This all makes sense. Every time something happens to us, we're being pranked. Everyone's pranking us.
Yeah,
they're gonna say just kidding. They're gonna say
just kidding. We weren't recording at all.
Yeah. No, you're like, we don't care.
Sucker.
You're like, bye, have a good day.
Yeah, see you
I'm just
later.
gonna leave. Like, it's like that jury duty show. I'm just like,
It's such a mind fuck.
fake. Yeah. No, that is so true.
Okay, recipe for success.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say the realness and authenticity that we
Yeah.
try to show, because a lot of the moments in the early days were showing like the parts of us that like we usually wouldn't post. And we always talk about we wouldn't post these things on our personal accounts, but S&Q feels like a place where it's like a safe place. And so like we don't really overthink, and it's really
totally get
hard
that.
to do that on like personal account. But yeah, I think just showing like every part of yourself in your work is like the number one thing. We've like kind of built or broken down these walls as we've gone with it. And then also, working together. It's like, don't be afraid to like ask friends for help or other like people to have input in your work. Cause I think a lot of people like have friends right next to them, but they're too scared to like share. And it's just, it really has been like the forefront of like what we do. We just are open about everything.
Totally.
Wow, this is amazing. Thank you guys so much. What an incredible interview.
No,
Dude,
this has been so fun. This has also been like such a good like reflection on, because kind of like Reagan was saying, it is hard for us to also understand like where we are. Like
It's a prank. It's a prank.
no, it literally feels like that. Yeah.
To like take a beat and breathe and like look at zoom out and look at where you are
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. And I would also say to anyone listening who wants to, break into the film space, I think what held us back was that we felt like we had to like know things going into it and know everything going into it. And that's the thing, is you're not going to know anything going into it. And that's kind of the only way to go into it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to learn, and the best way to learn is to kind of just throw yourself into the situation. So, I mean, a good recommendation from us is like throw yourself into a 48-hour film contest.
Yeah.
Because that really just threw us through the entire process in 2 days, and you kind of learn everything. So you kind of just have to throw yourself into it, and it's going to be scary, but you're going to learn so much, and that's really the only way to do it. And you're going to it's the most rewarding thing ever. So
Everything goes wrong at first too.
Yes.
Oh
everything.
yeah,
And
that's kind of
like-
what I love about filmmaking. I know that's weird to say, but creative problem solving is like my favorite thing to do. So I'm always like, oh yeah, like a challenge accepted.
It's like an actual puzzle. We always talk about it, and we're like, this is helping us, and thank God this is happening early on, and like things that aren't like make or break. But in the moment, it feels make or break, and it's scary. But it's always like, okay, we survived. We survived the next one.
That is so true though. Like going into it knowing things will go wrong inevitably.
Yes.
But that's just like also a part of the like love of filmmaking. That's just
100%.
the part of it, and like you learn to love it. Honestly,
I couldn't agree more.
yeah.
What a perfect place to end with you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Gosh, thank you.
You're so cool. We're gonna watch all of your films.
Yeah.
Well, vice
Trying
versa.
ahead.
Yeah.
Need that.
We
that
will.
right now. Yeah.
You'll love. It's a wild ride.
We're
It's a wild
excited.
ride.
Yeah. Immediately. No, but you're so cool. Thank you so much for having us.
Such a pleasure. Thank you guys.
Oh my gosh.
We'll just cut right there.
see that's a wrap?
That's a
No,
wrap.
that's a
Yeah, that's a wrap, baby.
Yeah, you killed that. You had such like we've never been asked those questions or like seen those questions asked. Yeah.
Totally.
Dude, that was so cool. And your whole company, the Indie Spunk, like it's so aligned to
Yes.
like everything.
100%.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, when I was looking, I was like, you guys, we're so aligned in so many ways. I love it.
So sick.
So we'll definitely have to do some kind of
So cool.
collaboration.
Oh,
or something.
100%.
Yeah,
No, I
for sure.
want to watch this film immediately.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Placidos?
so excited.
Yes.
I'm
I mean,
so
you
excited.
can watch other films of mine. I don't know.
No, but see, you need to watch the podcast we just filmed because you said it's about growth. It's okay.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We have to take
you're
our
like,
advice.
you got to watch the podcast I was just interviewed on, Izzy. Okay.
I'm like,
The
were you there?
The interviewer talks about it.
She was so
you there?
cool. It's hard to take your own advice, though. I feel that.
Oh, thank you guys.
Wait, that was so
yes,
fun.
that was it. That was
my
perfect.
gosh.